Hi everyone, it's Airbad back for another video, and today we're going to be looking at the secret rooms in Hard Doom Tower, specifically Secret Room 9 on the Eternal Dragon rotation, which is the rare attack only secret room, considered one of the harder ones, partly because you don't really have a great team composition able to do it. You aren't fighting like for like. You have an Umbral in the first wave, and it's typically heavily reliant on RNG to get it done. I remember the first time I ever cleared it, I had leveled up Elhain for this room with this secret room and secret room 12 in mind, which was a rare magic only. And I thought Elhain with her two AoEs, plus Soulbond Boya, plus Fleshmonger for a decreased defense, and another AoE, plus Raider with another AoE and decreased speed, and a Cold Heart would be sufficient. I did get it done, but it took a lot of attempts. The RNG was horrendous. Really cannot understate how bad the experience was. It probably took somewhere between 50 and 100 attempts. I would regularly get to the third wave, but someone would fail with their stun procs on the stun sets, and as soon as you let any of the opposition take a single turn, you will lose champions, you will die, and you will have to start over. It is really unforgiving. Since then, I have finessed my composition somewhat, and even this time I've done a mild form of speed tuning, such that it seems to be considerably more consistent. And for me, that's the most important. I know if we take a look at, say, the best teams and we go to global rankings, there are people clearing this in obscenely few turns, and I'm sure the gearing is somewhat remarkable, but it's not really achievable. It's not feasible. It also will rely heavily on RNG, and to be honest, having to do this every 2 or 3 months, I just want it to work. I don't mind running on manual. I don't mind if it takes 50 or 100 turns. I just don't want to have to run it over and over and over. So that for me is the key consideration here. So what I've ended up going with is 3 champions that have a single target full turn meter depletion, or in Cold Heart's case it's 100% TM drop, and Soulbond is a full TM depletion. But for practical purposes, given that we're not going to be fighting anyone with over 100% turn meter, they're all 100% drops as far as we're concerned. Raider also has an additional single target hard crowd control at 100% with a single target stun, and everyone has an AoE. We have 4 people in stun sets. Soulbond, Raider, Fleshmonger, and my second Cold Heart are all wearing stun sets. Of that, Soulbond and Fleshmonger have fearsome presence. Raider would have fearsome presence if she were a 6-star and had masteries, but at the moment she's only a 5-star, and she does have Evil Eye. I'll go through the builds after the run to show you the exact gearing and the stats, but in the interim, let's get into a run, and I'll show you the skill order and specifically the speed tune that these champions are working under. Let's take it off auto. So the first thing you saw right there obviously was Fleshmonger went first, did his AoE drop defense, unfortunately didn't get a single stun. We do need a minimum of 2 stuns from the first 2 AoEs, which is Raider's AoE and Fleshmonger's AoE, to realistically have a chance to complete this run successfully. We need that to happen on each of the 3 waves, which is a relatively low threshold. We did get 1 stun, which means this is the stun set Cold Heart going first. We can risk it and say, well, if we go with her AoE and we get 2 additional stuns, we end up with 3 stuns, we'll still be fine. Otherwise, we're going to have to start over. That's the simple reality. Again, we can actually risk it and go A1, and if we don't have enough stuns, is the answer. But let me see, with that decreased speed there, we might cycle back. So we'll do the TM drop, try and get the stun there, but with an Evil Eye proc, and we'll just do the stun. So we've survived it by the skin of our teeth, but it shows you here the redundancy we have, where we have multiple champions who can stun and multiple single target TM drops. So I was just going there for Evil Eye on the champion with the highest turn meter control, and again I'll do another Evil Eye and hope for a single target proc on the stun set, which is not forthcoming. So let's just kill him, and we'll do another TM drop there. We've got to resist, that is not optimal. Go for Evil Eye, try and get some stuns again. We've got 2 stuns, we're in an okay position. We've got 2 champions here, both with slow speed, and we have not used Evil Eye on him, so we'll do that. I'll try and get a little bit of damage away. Hope for some stuns here. Do another Evil Eye. Here we will cool ourselves down and go for another Evil Eye. We actually got the stun set proc this time. I will hold the A2, I don't think we need to use it right now. So I'll just go for an Evil Eye again. I'm getting a little bit concerned about this champion's turn meter, so I will just use my Heartseeker. Now I do need to cycle back and get all these champions' skills off cooldown. So I will be relying on A1s here and hoping for some stuns. We've got Umbral stunned. We should get this champion killed. And we'll just cycle the A1s until we finish the wave. We do have a slight issue on this wave where one of our Cold Hearts won't have Heartseeker. We hit 2 stuns, so that's good. We now have an option. We know we have 2 single target TM drops and a single target CC from Raider. We could risk the AoE. We do want the slow speeds, but I know I don't have a Heartseeker, so if I was going stun here, I'd be relying on getting 1 stun on 3 unstunned enemies. And given that, our stun proc chance could end up effectively landing stun on the already CC champions and avoiding the other 3, honestly, it's a risk I'm not willing to take. So I'll use the stun on this champion that does not have decreased defense. It's a small version of decreased defense, but at least it will land. And then I'm going to use my single target CCs on the other 2. And for my last Cold Heart, I'll just go for an AoE hit. Then here I will look for the champion that has the most turn meter, get the old Evil Eye on that, also land a lucky stun. The reality is, with so many stun sets and so many with Fearsome Presence on top, you will get stuns. You'll get it on A1s, you'll get it on AoEs. The idea here is that you're giving yourself enough time and enough opportunities to consistently be landing the stuns. Here is our stun set Cold Heart. Hopefully we'll get another stun, only 1. We'll now use Evil Eye A1 and hope for some more stuns from Soulbond. We'll have a look around and we'll say we'll drop the Heartseeker on that champion, and the other 2 will go for single target A1, Evil Eye, turn meter drops. We'll use more Evil Eye with Cold Heart, another A1 with Soulbond. We've got another stun out. Now we've only got 2 uncontrolled champions. Some more Evil Eye. We'll save this ability for the next wave. Already thinking of the next wave. Evil Eye on the left. We've already used it. Evil Eye again. And we get both the stuns out now. So we're just continuing to cycle through. Recycling our abilities. Raider's cooled down her abilities. All the cold hearts have theirs off cooldown, so we're looking good. And now we're on to the third wave. And again, we find ourselves in the exact same position. We need 2 stuns on the first 2 AoEs. We didn't get it. We do have a slow speed here. So again, we have the option here. Do we go A2 and hope for at least 1 or 2 stuns? Or do we go full TM control? I'm going to go for the A2, hope for a stun, which I did not get. We may actually lose this, and this shows you exactly how bad the experience is of coming through here. We'll drop TM there. Drop TM there. I decided we should be able to survive 1 hit from Sorceress, because she doesn't hit very hard at all. And since War Maiden had slow speed, I knew we could cycle back to at least an A1. So we've got half a chance to rescue it again. We've got the stun out, which is thankful. I won't use Raider on Aethel, though Aethel's the main threat. In fact, I'll save the stun. Try and get some more stuns out with the A1s. We'll go Evil Eye. Evil Eye again. Now we will use Dominate and Heartseeker. And just A1. Get some damage away. Try and get some more control. Evil Eye. Damage. Both stunned. Last wave. Go out big. And it's done. So you can see, although it was touch and go on a few times, and we did get luck at certain points during the fight, we also made our own luck. We set up the team in a good speed tune where we had Fleshmonger go first, AoE, drop defense with a stun set. We were able to assess how many stuns we landed. We would then choose with Raider either single target or AoE stun and look for drop speeds. And then once we had those 2 champions out of the way, we knew we had 3 single target TM drops. 2 of the champions also had stun sets. Everyone's with Evil Eye, and we're able to make decisions to maximize our chances at every step of the way. I've now run that secret room with this composition 4 times, and I've succeeded 3 times. So I'd say it has an extremely high probability of success. By far the most consistent composition I've managed to find for this rare attack room. And I would highly recommend it as a way of consistently clearing it, which is, let's be honest, all that we're really looking for. So if I look through the champions, I have Cold Heart 1 is my reflex Cold Heart I use in Fire Knight 24 farming. Excess accuracy, you really don't need anywhere near that level of accuracy for this content. Around 250 will be sufficient. I do like to have the speed around or north of 200. It allows us to cycle back round to our champions more quickly, particularly if we put decreased speed on the enemy. It gives us more and more opportunities to come back. Other than that, I'm hitting the general Cold Heart rules of 70% crit rate and a good amount of crit damage. For this room, no real stats are particularly important on the Cold Hearts other than the speed and the accuracy, but obviously getting some decent damage out of your Cold Hearts will speed up the run. In terms of masteries, I'm actually using Giant Slayer on both my Cold Hearts, and that's because with dungeons 21 to 25, I no longer see the point in running either Helm Smasher or Flawless Execution. I'd rather be getting Giant Slayer procs on their A1s, on their multi-hit A1s, anytime I'm fighting bosses. If we look at Cold Heart number 2, as I said, Giant Slayer again, Evil Eye, the two critical parts that I have built my Cold Hearts around. This is the stun set Cold Heart, and you could definitely go down the Fearsome Presence route. There's no reason not to. Here again, I'm hitting above the 250 accuracy, slightly faster than my other Cold Heart, because I made the decision I wanted all of my stun champions to go before my one champion that wasn't in stun. So the champion that's not in stun is doing the mop up, and I always have the opportunity to attempt another AoE with a stun set champion if I need to maximize my opportunities for good RNG. Beyond that, 70% crit, decent crit damage. I did stack some attack in this Cold Heart. I wanted her to hit reasonably hard. I knew I was going to be trying to do this secret room with this Cold Heart, so I have gone for a decent amount of damage on her. Fleshmonger, you can see not all the gears even maximized. I'm even running with level 8 gloves, so there is room to improve even on these builds. Here, the main aspects that I was looking for was high speed and and enough accuracy to land the debuffs. Everything else is irrelevant. There's almost no survivability on this build whatsoever. The idea is that we don't get hit if it can at all be avoided. So it's really, the key here is Fleshmonger is my fastest champion, enough accuracy to land debuffs, and then I'm adding some damage stats in after that as my gear permits. Soulbond, I've gone for another damage dealing stun set build. That's partly because I do use this Soulbond also in the Rare Spirit secret room, so I'm trying to maximize the gear that I have in my account to minimize the amount of regearing I need to do, so I can clear all the content with as little silver investment as possible. Here I'm hitting 70% crit rate with the idea that really I only need, I think it's 67% if I remember correctly, when you account for her skills having an extra 25% crit rate on each ability, plus her aura, as I do run her as lead. Enough accuracy to be landing the decreased TM, and enough speed such that she is going before my reflex Cold Heart. You will ask, well, they're the same speed. Why does she go first? Because she's leader. If you have identical speeds, the turn order will be determined by where you have placed them within your team. So the leader will take priority, and the second champion, third, fourth, fifth, etc. So you can adjust your turn order with identically speed champions, or rather with champions with identical speed, by adjusting the champion placement in your lineup. Then finally we have Raider, another stun set. Here I'm really just looking for the right speed and the right accuracy. Everything else is inconsequential. You can see again, no survivability whatsoever in this build. It's really not a build you'd use in any other piece of content other than this secret room. So we have speed tuned as I mentioned before, so Raider will go second before either Cold Heart or Soulbond, and enough accuracy to be landing the debuffs. In terms of masteries, they're incomplete. Ultimately we'll go down to Fearsome Presence. Do have Evil Eye already, and that was all I really wanted. I will quickly show the masteries on Soulbond, as I had not shown that previously. Evil Eye, Fearsome Presence. Nothing else is required in this build. You can see I don't even finish masteries beyond what is required. Similar on Fleshmonger, Evil Eye, Fearsome Presence. Nothing else matters in terms of masteries. I won't waste any more time or energy grinding the masteries out further. The role is filled, the job is done. Well, I hope that was helpful. I hope that will help you guys beat that secret room, and not just beat it for the first time, but beat it consistently. So every time we have the Eternal Dragon cycle, you're able to beat the secret room without too much frustration, get the champion fragments, work on our way towards the great Doom Tower hard secret room champions that are available to us. Urost is particularly good, makes beating and farming Scarab boss, I wouldn't say pleasurable, but it's tolerable. It's the only way I'd ever consider farming Scarab. If I didn't have a Urost, I would never have bothered putting in the time or energy required to get a auto team to do it. And so I think there are some very valuable champions within the secret rooms, and obviously we know to get Ramantu, you have to do the secret rooms to at least get Gomlock. Speaking of Ramantu, I have now pulled my Ramantu. He's booked out. The masteries are on the way, but I've not yet built him. He is a work in progress, along with Luorius, who I pulled on the last Void 2X. So two fairly exciting champions for me that will be entering into my TTA lineup in the coming weeks. Thanks for watching. For those people who stayed this long, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.